We'd like to welcome you to our City Council study session this morning. I know we've got a lot on the agenda today and actually a couple of different meetings, so we're going to get started. Our first meeting is actually going to be a convening of the Mesa Housing Services Governing Board, so I'd like to call that meeting to order. First item on our agenda is items from citizens present. Ms. Mosley, has anyone requested to speak?
No, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Item 1A on our agenda then is approval of minutes. Is there a motion to that effect? Thank you, Ms. Pillsbury and Mr. Redia. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. That passes unanimously. Item 2A on our agenda is a presentation on the fiscal year 23-24 annual plan and revisions to the Mesa Housing Services Administration Plan. Ladies, welcome.
Good morning, Chair and board members. I'm Mary Brandon with the Community Services, and I have with me today Rosario Beltran-Joshi, and we'll be presenting to you today. We like to start our presentations with the Housing Path to Recovery, and as you can see here, we have a new diagram, and we have highlighted the items of where our programs fit into the Housing Path to Recovery. And so as you can see, it's Bridge to Success, Rental Assistance, and Independence. Just a history, we have a couple new board members. Every 5 years, we have to prepare and submit a 5-year plan. This is our 4th year of our 5-year plan that we completed in 2020. And for the annual plan, we have to mark on the plan any successes, how we're doing on our goals that we have on the 5-year plan. So a couple of those things that we wanted to share with you today are the housing needs and strategy for addressing housing. We have Housing Solutions Program, which is our landlord outreach program. It has been really successful. We're seeing an increase in landlord participation, and Rosario will share some of those numbers with you later in the presentation. We were able to hire a full-time landlord support specialist that runs this program. And one of the important things with this position is they are a one-point contact for landlords. We want them to be able to contact with any of their questions or concerns directly to, his name is Max Chawla. He has visited over 300 landlords on site in the last 6 months, which has increased our participation. Then this last year, we received 25 additional Section 8 housing choice vouchers. Not a lot, but that's 24 more families that we're able to help. And then with that 25, we've already leased up 14 of them, and they're all been issued, and the others are out looking for a unit. The third item of our annual plan that we want to highlight is the FSS. That's the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. You have to be a voucher holder, and it's a volunteer program. HUD required us this last year to complete a new action plan for the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. We had our specialist out on maternity leave, so we had 3 staff that jumped in and had to learn about the program. So we created that plan, and it was submitted and approved by HUD in October. The next is our payment standards. That's been a big conversation in the last few years with the rents going up. Payment standard is used. We can do a percentage of the current fair market rent, and that payment standard is used to calculate the amount of rent that each voucher holder can afford to go look for, and then also that helps us calculate what their portion of rent would be. Last year in 2022, we increased it 3 times. This year, we chose to stay at 100% of the fair market rent because we felt the fair market rent was aligned with what we're seeing in the rents out in the community. And we're seeing that they are finding units within their amount of rent. with that. A couple other accomplishments that I'd like to report is that our full housing staff attended a 2-day fair housing training in January, and they all passed the exam. So that is awesome. Our waiting list was open in August. You know that we got many, many applications, but during that process, we had a reasonable accommodation process where if someone was unable to apply online, that we would be able to assist them so everyone could apply. Then again, with our CMAP, that is our report card to HUD, we last year accomplished a high-performing agency again with that score. And then I'll send it over to Rosario.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair and board members. My name is Rosario Beltran-Joshi, and I'm the housing administrator. The administrative plan is updated at least annually. We update HUD regulations, policies, and processes. And the Family Unification Program, known to us as FUP, this program helps reunite families, and we get those referrals directly from the Department of Child Safety. We provide vouchers to 2 different populations, which is FUP families and FUP youths. The youths need to be between the ages of 18 through 24 in order to be eligible for the program. We had to make changes to our administrative plan this year to follow HUD guidelines, and FUP families can be on the program for as long as they need it, but FUP youths are limited by statute to a period of 36 to 60 months of housing assistance. A FUP youth assistance can be extended beyond the 36 months if they meet any of the certain criteria, and they just need to meet one, so I'll go over those. Caring for a dependent that is under the age of 6, or for a person that has a disability. If they participate in the FSS program, and that program is offered by our housing authority, it's the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. If they enroll in education activities, at least part-time, if they employ a minimum of 20 hours per week, or if they participate in a workforce development program. Other than that, the Family Unification Program is the same, it's no different than the Housing Choice Voucher Program. Now, the project-based voucher referral process, we have 88 project-based voucher units located at La Mesita and Escobedo apartments. And as a reminder, the project-based voucher program is different than the Housing Choice Voucher Assistance. Project-based voucher assistance is tied to the unit and not to the family. Our waiting list for the project-based voucher program can be a long wait, and that's because we move families into a unit once we have a vacancy. And sometimes that can take years. We want to make our process more efficient. We want to move to a referral process. We know that this will be a more successful approach, and this is what other cities are doing as well. We can accept application referrals from coordinated entry to place them on our project-based voucher waiting list. By doing this, Mesa applicant referrals will not need to wait years on the waiting list. We will be requesting the referrals from coordinated entry for homeless in Mesa residents only. And we will be able to get them the assistance a lot quicker. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions. If no questions, then we can move on to the public hearing.
Thank you. Any questions, council? Ms. Pillsbury.
So when you were talking about that all the vouchers have been distributed and they're just trying to find units, are they having trouble finding units, or are they able to find? Are we still running short of how many units are available?
We are doing a lot better, but it's still slow with the market. And especially because a lot of our vouchers have been for the homeless population, and that makes it a little difficult for them to find someone willing to work with them. But we have seen the time, it used to be years ago, a couple years ago, they could find a unit up 30 to 45 days. And now we're seeing it's more 60 to 90 days. So it's taken them a little longer, but they are finding units.
Are they, Where are they at for those 60 to 90 days that they're waiting?
It depends, sorry about that. I'm sorry, board member Spilsbury, I should be saying that. It depends on the voucher. So a lot of them are already housed and they're just moving, or they've moved into Mesa for that. If they've come from the wait list, they may be living with family and just looking for their own. Some of our emergency housing vouchers are truly homeless, and some are from off the streets and they're finding units. So they may be in a shelter.
So they might
All
stay
kinds
just
of-
longer off the streets?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
While we're paused, I'll ask, so when a person is looking for a unit, is there an easier way for them to find out where vouchers will be accepted on the housing choice? I've had phone calls to my office and people say, I'm desperate to find someplace and I've been going around and I don't know how or where to begin, and can you help me? I'm disabled, I can't get around. Is there any means of knowing?
Yes, Board Member Duff. We provide a list to the voucher holders that are searching for a unit, and we get that list from myhousingsearch.com. And it's all the landlords that are willing to rent their unit under our program. They list their units there. So we provide a list of the units that are available, and we give them a map of the area. We guide them and tell them, you are welcome to call different apartment complexes. We give them a list of the apartment complexes that are working with us as well.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Yep, please proceed.
I think we can move to the
Public meeting.
public meeting hearing.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought that, so your presentation is completed, thank you. All right, item 4B on our agenda is to conduct a public hearing and take action on a resolution approving the Mesa Housing Services fiscal year 2023-24 Public Housing Agency Annual Plan and revisions to the Mesa Housing Services Administration Plan, and authorizing the chairman of the board to submit the annual plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. So I declare that public hearing open. Ms. Mosley, have we had any requests to speak on this item?
No requests.
Thank you. Any board members wish to address these items? I therefore then declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion to approve this resolution? Thank you, Mr. Freeman and Ms. Spilsbury. All in favor, please say aye. 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 Any opposed? Thank you. That passes unanimously. Next item on our agenda, item 2C, is a presentation on the Housing Services Voucher Program and updates on the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, also known as ERAP. Take it away.
All right, thank you. We just wanted to give you a few updates real quick for from last year in 2022 and what we are currently at in 2023. Our utilization in 2022 ended at 93.5%. We know that over the couple years it has been low, but so far in 2023 we are at 94.6%. We're seeing that slightly increasing. Slowly, we're working really hard to pull from the waiting list to get more vouchers out there used. One thing I wanted to note is our goal is to get our utilization to 96%. And so that's a lot of work. In the next few months, next 4 months, our plan is to pull up to 1,000 people from the waiting list to get vouchers out there. We have that many vouchers available and we need to get them leased. So it's slowly going up, but I'm hoping next time we report to you, it'll be even higher. The monthly rent payments, as you can see from last year, it ended at 16.4. That means that's the amount of rent we paid on behalf of the participant. We are forecasting it to be over 22 million this year. Couple reasons for that, of course, the higher rents, we know that. As our utilization goes up, we'll be paying more rents because of the voucher holders. And then the other one is we have more vouchers. So that's a lot of money that is going out to our community, helping those stay housed.
I'm sorry, Mary, before you leave that box, is that ERAP? Is that what we're talking about? Or is that
No, this
something
right
different?
here is our vouchers. This is all housing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
ERAP's at the end. HUD did make an increase nationally across that they added to everyone's, I should be telling you, HAP is housing assistance payment. We use acronyms all the time. HUD has increased the allocation for the housing assistance payments at 29.4%. So that's a big increase because they know we need that because we are paying the higher rents now.
Excuse me, Mary, Mr. Heredia has a question.
I'm sorry.
Mary, is there a cap on the HAP money?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a limit that we can reach, or is it just based on just the cost that we submit for the costs there for what we have?
Board Member Heredia, that's a good question. We are allocated a certain amount according to how we leased up last year.
Okay.
So if we spent a certain amount last year, they calculate it from that. But yes, and we cannot go over that amount. There are situations and times where we can ask for contingency for additional funding, and we have done that when we're at a shortfall.
So on this one, from 16.4 to 22 million, is that enough? Do we have enough resources to meet that potential demand?
Yes, I believe we do.
Okay.
I do, Board Member Heredia. And there is that where we could ask for more. If our utilization goes up and we're seeing it's not adequate, we could.
Okay.
And just a quick note on per unit cost, what that means is that is what we pay, the average we pay per voucher. So they pay their portion and we pay our portion. In January of 2022, it was $802. At the end of, currently it's 968. So it went from 802 last year to 968 this year. And we're anticipating it to be 1,084 at the end of this year. That's a big jump there. On the VASH vouchers, we continue to get referrals from the VA. They're slow. We seem to be consistent, right, under 150 leased up. We have monthly meetings with the VA trying to get that to increase. So we continue to work on that. Our emergency housing vouchers, those are the vouchers we got during COVID. Of the 108, we have 89 leased, which is 83%, which we believe is really good. We have 2 that are waiting inspection so they can move in, and then we have 14 out searching. So as you can see, we'll have them fully leased here soon.
Excuse me, Ms. Pillsbury.
I don't know if this is an easy answer. How many total vouchers do we issue as a city? With all VASH and emergency, like just total voucher number? Is that not an easy answer?
No, it is.
Oh.
It is an easy number. Board Member Spilsbury, we have 1,913 vouchers.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions on this?
Oh, Mr. Freeman.
Thank you, Mary Brandon. On the emergency housing vouchers, is there a length of stay? I heard 36 months. Is that attached to the emergency housing vouchers? It's not. So which one is it attached to? The 36 month, up to 36 months?
Yes, Board Member Freeman. The 36 months is for the Family Unification Program, the youth between the ages
The
of...
one with the weird acronym?
Yes, that one.
You should come up with a better wording. That's a little dicey to me. Okay, so that's tied to that. What is the actual amount is available on the emergency housing voucher? What is that dollar amount? Say there's a family that needs to be housed. How much payment is given? Is it all the same across the board, $900 and something?
No, for Councilmember Freeman, for the Board Member Freeman.
That's okay.
Yes. For the emergency housing vouchers, they can look for a unit up to 120% of the payment standard. that we have. So the rent that they can go out and look, it's higher than the regular Housing Choice Voucher program. HUD allowed us to go up to 120%.
Wow. Okay. That's kind of in the weeds, but that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay. The next slide is an update on the landlord support program, the Housing Solutions Program. And as we mentioned earlier, Max was hired full-time in January of 2023. He started as a temporary employee in September of 2022, and he's the point of contact for landlords who have questions about the housing programs, our housing forms, the incentives that we offer. Not only does he promote the program, but he also processes the incentive applications that are coming back to our office so that we can pay our landlords. We continue to offer incentives to landlords that are working with our program, and those are for damages, vacancy payments, and housing assistance payment bonus. So we call that HAP. A HAP bonus can be requested by landlords when they are leasing a unit to a new participant for the first time. It's not offered for renewals, not for lease renewals. We also have assistance with application fees and administrative fees for our homeless participants. And last month, we hosted a landlord seminar at the convention center. It was also available via Zoom. This was the first time that we offer it to the landlords virtually, and it went very well. We received positive feedback from landlords, appreciating the staff for explaining the programs, how the program works, and the benefits of becoming a Housing Choice Voucher landlord. And our plan is for, in the next few weeks, we will be posting a survey online for landlords to let us know how we're doing and what we can do better. We're also thinking of conducting quarterly landlord briefings virtually. We just want to make sure that we listen to the concerns that the landlords are having and that we keep a close connection with them. This slide is about our goals. Max Shala is the landlord support specialist, and he's been with us for 6 months. He's made great progress. One of the goals that we made this year was to conduct 80 monthly landlord site visits. And as you can see on the first chart, in 2022, we visited 242 landlords. This year, we have already visited 165 landlords in the first quarter. The second goal is to increase landlords' participation by 3%, which that would be about 10 landlords for the year. And in the second chart, for 2022, we got 13 new landlords. And this year, we already have recruited 10 landlords into the program. Now, the third goal for this year was to host a landlord seminar, and we did that last month. And it was very much appreciated by our landlords. We are seeing that some apartment complexes are struggling with the current market rents that are out there right now. They're not able to get non-Housing Choice Voucher participants to rent their unit as easily as they were in the last 2 years. So they're coming back to us. It's not going as quick as we want, but it's coming back to us. So that's a good thing. Thank you. And if you have no questions, and Mary will talk about ERAP.
Just real quick, we wanted to do
I'm
a
sorry, Ms. Duff, you have a question?
No, it was just a minor thing, but important. What's the name of the gentleman who's been working with the landlord outreach again? You said his name?
Yes, Max Shala.
Shala.
Yes.
Mr. Shala.
Mr. Shala.
If Mr. Shala is listening, thank you very much. Tremendous progress, and I'm just so happy he's on board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Duff. We think he's doing awesome as well. Just real quick, I wanted to summarize the Emergency Rental Utility Assistance Program. As you know, and that is closed. We have expended all of our funding. But I wanted to note just something real quick is of the $60 million that we have expended, only $2.7 million of it was used for administrative. The program was ran quickly, And we were able to keep it at 5% of the admin that they provided for us. The other additional admin that we didn't use to run the program, we assisted additional families with that. So over 10,000 unduplicated households. And this has been an army. There's been the whole team of city employees that have helped this happen, IT, finance. We had our furloughed employees that helped us at the beginning when the art center and library were closed. So this is a good accomplishment. So good news from that is DES had reached out to us, the Arizona state, and they have additional ERAP money. And we had already closed our operations. So they have funding available that they'll be able to assist Mesa residents with the rental assistance, not the utility, through the ERAP program. They'll pay arrears and 3 months forward. This will begin April 1st. So anyone can apply after April 1st through the DES program. I put the link down there. We will notify all of our community partners, faith-based partners. It'll be on our webpage. We're changing our voicemail and our email message. They do anticipate the funding will be available through June. So that's great news for that. So I just wanted to share that with you, and we'll do what we can.
I have a question.
Mr. Freeman.
How much monies are available for this programming?
Millions.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
You say it's expected to terminate in June, so it's April, May, and
Yeah.
June.
So the state ERAP program does all of the rural area of Arizona, and they're doing Mesa and Glendale as far as I know. So they're trying to finish up their funding.
Ms. Duff.
Mary, remind me, what are the qualifications for ERAP as far as a resident?
Okay, Board Member Duff, it is that they have been financially impacted during COVID.
It's still that? Okay, I didn't know if
Not
that
due to
changed.
COVID, like it was at the beginning,
Okay.
just during COVID.
During COVID.
And have arrears, so they have to, because it's eviction prevention, they owe rent, and they are a Mesa resident and
Just during the-
financially impacted.
So during the period of COVID, what is that period?
Since 2020.
Oh, from 2020 forward until today, okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. I can't help but say, wow, that's impressive and amazing that we helped 10,000 non-duplicated families over the course of that period of time. That's wonderful and horrible at the same time, because now that this program's come to an end, I'm not sure, what we do with those 10,000 distinct families in Mesa that were assisted from avoiding eviction over the last 2 years. So what's the answer to that, Mary?
Chair Giles, I think that we ask for more vouchers, and we send them to the Workforce Development Center and give them resources to assist them with that.
Yeah. Well, you should be asking us, so we'll try to work on that. But thank you so much, all the folks who accomplished such great things during that period of time. That concludes the items on the agenda for this meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn this Housing Board meeting? Thank you, Ms. Pillsbury and Ms. Duff. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Thanks.
We will now transition